Hello and welcome back to the Battle of Central Europe Season 3. This is going to be a best of 3, or rather the second game of a best of 3 between AFTERSHOCK Gaming and Moscow 5. I'm Grandis V, and I'm going to be joined by HeflaTV, and that game 1 was an amazing way to start off our day.
It was hilarious. Like, it was pretty much everything. Like, a very convincing laning stage by Moscow 5, followed up by a very amazing throw. And then a comeback fight, which I never expected, even Boyd down with 3 lives, and then the Razor buying back, and I thought like, oh my god, Moscow 5 is gonna win this, but in the end, the Razor gone through the backdoor entrance into the base, and then playing Ringer around the Rosie with Bignum, and in the end, his ultimate pretty much wins, because the funny part is, he was even disarmed in the end. He was not like him hitting the throne, it was really just his Aganim's ultimate that was taken on it, and that was just enough, because Creeps, and even the Abaddon, I don't know if you saw it in the last fight, but like when they lost the fight, the Abaddon was like, you know, I don't care what's going around me, I'm just gonna hit that throne right now. That's all he did. He was just hitting that throne till the end. What a game.
Yeah, definitely. If you didn't watch it, the VODs will be uploaded later on in the day to youtube.com/HeflaMoke. If you want to catch that game, if you're just joining us. As far as this draft is concerned, already something a bit different with the Razor and the Viper band out. Both were present in game number 1. And this game, AFTERSHOCK Gaming, going to get a Tusk Tidehunter opening, potentially giving Screen a little bit of his own medicine. Moscow 5 get the Brewmaster and Venge.
Yep, the Tidehunter we were actually missing in game number 1. He was not banned or picked, which is quite a surprise, because if I look at all those fights, none of them were really short of like being super 5-on-5 clusterfuck fights. That's what happened most of the time, at least from minute 30 on. And a Tidehunter with a Ravage, and later even with a double Ravage, even though that's kind of a risky thing with the anti-mage obviously on the other side, because you might find yourself lacking the mana for it, but still, it would have been amazing. Still, I mean, they got their game through, so AFTERSHOCK, I won't even comment on certain picks. Right now, I definitely like it. We have the Tidehunter already, which means we have our offlaner, the Tusk, which is quite interesting, I have to say. I'm looking forward to it. And of course, Cancer Panda is out on the other side. We have to see who's gonna handle this. I've seen Bignum playing, for example, offlane Panda quite a bit in the past.
For sure. I quite like Tusk, and I think he should be seen a little bit more in play. Both of these teams are, quite honestly, the only ones to use Tusk at all, and even AFTERSHOCK, it's usually more of a flavor pick, and it's not something that they actually fall back on very often, but this game's going to be different. It's almost going to ensure that they get the initiations that they want. Even before Blink on Tidehunter, you're going to have the Snowball into Ravage, which is kind of a combination, but even more so. Tusk just being able to defensively snowball his allies, dodging like a magic missile from the Vengeful Spirit, or just delaying Brewmaster's effectiveness in the teamfight is going to be really nice for AFTERSHOCK.
Yeah, actually, the Tidehunter in the Snowball, it's quite a combination. Less for the Ravage, I think, because like in a big team fight, if you see that Snowball coming, and unless it's like a super fast 5-man Snowball where you instantly see yourself in the next position, then I don't think it's a good combination. Then I'd rather stick to the traditional Blink Dagger. But as for ganks, it's quite potent, because you have the Tusk, you're gonna get a guaranteed stun, you're gonna get like at least 1 or 2 anchor smashes plus a gush in the face, the minus armor like being there as well. You're being slowed by 2 sources, held in place maybe by the ice shards. It's in a 2 versus 1 situation, almost a guaranteed kill unless there are some jukes or some, I don't know, skill shots not hitting. So I like this combo at least.
Yeah, AFTERSHOCK gonna pick up the Slark, a carry that's really been seeing a lot of play as of late, at least in this tournament, has been more or less the go-to carry for almost all of these teams, and Slark combos incredibly well with Tusk. Just being able in the early game to get pretty much a guaranteed pounce with the Snowball into Ice Shards setting up for that is very strong, and AFTERSHOCK, even if they don't get the most usage out of the defensive Snowballs, the aggressive potential in the early game is going to be through the roof.
Yep, and let's see, Slark is coming, but right now they don't really have anything to lock down a Slark Magic Missile unless he's unless he used that Dark Pack before. Magic Missile is nothing really that holds you back on a Slark. You can't be swapped if you're like on the run already when you're in your Shadow Dance. So right now, Vengeful Spirit, let's see, I'm not a big fan of it, but we have to see what else is coming. The Void is already being banned out, which means we not gonna see a Witch Dog. I don't think so. Even though AFTERSHOCK, they could, in theory at least, fit a Witch Dog in again.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that pickup, even though it doesn't have the Chronosphere to set up for it. Tidehunter Ravage is a close second to the potential, and a Paralyzing Cast can be so disruptive in the early game, and it would work decently well, although I'd like to see maybe like a Rubik or something along those lines for them. We'll just have to find out what their choice is this game. For Moscow 5, it's going to be an Elder Titan, presumably as a support, or at least that's how it's usually played in this tournament. Vengeful Spirit plus Elder Titan as a supporting duo can find some kills, but more than anything, want to get their level 6s, or at least more levels on the Elder Titan. Level 6 for the Vengeful Spirit ASAP.
Yep. I mean, right now they at least have some nice utility things on their side. Moscow 5, they have the Vengeful Spirit, obviously, a source of minus armor, plus the Elder Titan, which is a source of minus base armor, minus base resist. The Brewmaster, as such, dealing a ton of damage in both of the sources, magical and physical, but we need more. Right now, we need more. Aftershock, they're gonna secure the Skywrath Mage. Okay, I guess that would have been also a nice pick for Moscow 5, Skywrath Mage, and then a big core, sending the Brewmaster in the mid, Vengeful Spirit, Skywrath Mage, Trine with the Elder Titan in the offlane. That I could have seen that working, but Aftershock, they're gonna say no, that is ours. And I guess it's not too bad, even though we don't have like a, I don't know, not a crazy combo right now. The Silence, of course, is cool, but we don't have anyone who really benefits from that plus magical. I mean, not with like huge skill shots.
I mean, Slark Pounce as well as Dark Fact isn't to be underestimated, and Ice Shards as well as Snowball does benefit decently well from it. But nothing as flashy as like, I'm not even sure, like Centaur with the Stomp Double Edge. I think that's one of your best combinations. But yeah, I still think it's going to be a really nice choice for Aftershock, and honestly, I'm surprised that Skywrath Mage has been slipping through drafts as late as he has been. Recently, he's just been really fallen out of favor. I'm not sure exactly what the reason is behind that. I still think he's a solid support.
Which one? Sorry?
Skywrath.
Skywrath. Oh, you mean that he wasn't picked at that much?
Yeah, he hasn't been picked. He's been ignored in the bans as well. And Moscow 5 can go for a Wind Ranger.
I think when it comes to the Skywrath Mage, I think he's just too squishy. That's the biggest problem for a lot of combos, especially against the Brewmaster, Vengeful Spirit. I mean, alone the Vengeful Spirit, Elder Titan, they could kill him. Windrunner, just one Shackle and he's done. Brewmaster alone and he's done, assuming that there's no crazy follow-up like behind him or something that is a bait. So Skywrath Mage, I don't know. It doesn't fit in every draft.
Definitely not. But then again, I think the Wind Ranger is kind of in a similar situation, fairly squishy, very reliant on, I don't know, getting her spells to land, and has a window where Wind Ranger can be amazing, but if Wind Ranger doesn't land those shackles and power shots, it can completely fall flat on its face. I'm still very on the fence about this hero, and I'm not sure this is really the game to show it off. It's either amazing or it's lukewarm at best.
Yep, and now, I mean, Moscow 5, they're gonna play that Windrunner in a, I don't know, farming position. I hope not. I'm not a big fan of that Windrunner in a farming position. I don't know why people go for it. Like, the majority of Windrunners in that position, they fail, at least the games I've casted. I've seen, of course, successful Windrunners as well in that position, but I just don't like it because I think you're very, I don't know, you set a very low ceiling. So you hit that certain point in the game where there's just not so much progress on the Windrunner anymore, and that's what I don't like. While a Slark, for example, there's, I don't know, there's no end to him. Like, you can 6-slot him, farm him 6-slotted, and on top of that he has Essence Shift, which is quite crazy. Like, in those long fights when he's really tanky, he gets up to like 30. I mean, I've seen this week a Slark, for example, with 56 stacks of Essence Shift. That translates into, I don't even know how much. Wait, 56, that's more than 168 agility stolen. That is just nuts. And that's what I love about the Slark, especially when he gets tanky later on.
Yeah, and he also comes online really early, especially with like a tough Skywrath Mage combination. Even though Skywrath Mage probably doesn't want to be snowballing into the middle of the fight, just the damage coming out from those three heroes in particular is going to be hard for Moscow 5 to deal with. No matter who's going to the offlane, Elder Titan, Wind Ranger, or Brewmaster, I don't think there's really much chance that they're going to survive. Maybe Wind Ranger if she gets off Wind Run at the right moment, but even then, the damage coming out from them is just really immense. And now Aftershock going for the Zeus. I'm usually not one to like the Zeus, but Moscow 5's ability to get into the face of this hero is going to be really limited to the Brewmaster, and even then, if Zeus gets some nice mobility items, that could completely change things.
Yep, and let's see what's actually happening now. I mean, Naga Siren on Necroman, that means we're gonna have an offline Brewmaster, as I like sort of set as an option, and we have Necro in the mid, and the Windrunner, since it's on ZXC, is gonna be actually in a farming role. I mean, with that Naga, they got quite some late game potential, so they made up for what they were lacking before. The Zeus, however, adds some earlier mid-game advantage on Aftershock side, because right now I'm just looking at, I don't know, Elder Titan, the Windrunner, and even the Vengeful Spirit, even though her strength growth over time is quite huge, but also Naga Siren. All of those heroes don't come with the great HP pool, so give that Zeus, sorry, that's the German version, Zeus. English. Let's swap to English. Zeus. That Zeus is gonna have like some huge impact on the game if he gets the farm. If he's being shut down, not so much. But give him 1 level advantage, fast level 6, and Moscow 5. They're gonna have huge problems.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about in the draft how they didn't have the greatest of synergies with that Ancient Seal, but Zeus, that's quite absurd how much damage you're able to put out. That said, we are into this game, and hopefully it's going to progress quickly enough. Mind Control is going to be playing on that Zeus, with Zorgi on the Skarath Mage, Magoma on the Tusk, presumably plays support, Kefka on the offlane Tidehunter, and Jalopy on the Slark.
Yep, and on the Radiant side, we have Necroman. I already said it. On the Naga Siren, Bignum is going to go in the offline with the utility Brewmaster, but in Bignum, I like this player. He's always good in the offline. Like, his center was solid last game. In the end, he didn't have too much of an impact, but his offline was definitely good. He did a good job against the Witch Dog, whatnot. Either way, PGG, this time not on the Mirana, he's going to stun someone with a Vengeful Spirit, and of course we have Screen on the Elder Titan, and well, I'll go. Okay, it's gonna be aggressive tri-lane. Yeah, so ZXC on the Windrunner is the last one, but I was just surprised by how they lane it. So aggressive try, and Bignum is actually gonna go in the safe lane solo.
I'm okay with them going for an aggressive tri-lane, but then again, Screen is going to be getting very little to nothing if they don't get kills in this lane, which is very problematic for an Elder Titan. In a tri-lane situation, if they're just passively sitting back and not getting kills, Moscow 5 International are just going to fall behind very quickly. Aftershock, I think the immediate impact of a Slarking farm, or maybe even if he goes for Midas or something along those lines, is just going to be a little bit too great for them. And Aftershock, their tri-lane is no slouch either. All of the action should be isolated up in this top lane, but if anybody finds themselves caught out of position with like a snowball or with a magic missile, things could completely explode. Our mid lane matchup with Naga Siren versus Zeus, more or less going to be just a farm war, which Naga Siren should come out on top of. And that's probably the biggest reason why they go for this tri-lane, just to make sure that Necroman has a good time.
To be honest, I think here, tri-lane versus tri-lane, it comes down to 2 skills. That is Pound and it's Shackle Shot. Those two pretty much determined who's going to get the better one. Like a Shackle Shot on the Skarath Mage, followed up by an early Aqua Storm and a Magic Missile, that's already the HP of Skarath Mage. If the Pounds is not landing in return, they won't even get like a revenge kill. And so is it pretty much also on the other side. If they land the Pound, followed up by Magic Seal, some arcane damage, and of course the Snowball, the guaranteed stun pretty much, that's a kill for them. So for me, it really comes down to those two skills. My tongue is already completely twisted for today.
PGG poised in the mid lane with an Invis rune. I think PGG is going to use this to look for a bottle snipe off of Mind Control. He's going to get this after like this wave if he gets one more CS, which he very well should. And there you go. He's going to be sending out the bottle immediately. Let's see if PGG is going to succeed.
This would be big. This would be big. Really big. Mind Control here on the Zeus. Without that bottle, really, really bad news. But at the moment, the Courier is really on the most right side. Maybe it's even going through... Yes, it's going through the secret shop at the moment. So he's well aware of the fact that PGG is missing from that tri-line. So that bottle weight, it's not going to be successful. You see it? Nice little like pathing, and he's going to get his bottle unharmed. Maybe he's still sniping the Courier on the way back. Let's see.
I don't think so. He's probably just going to send it back the other way, and he's going to fully bottle crow. It's going to delay the amount of time Zeus is going to get that bottle, but just ensuring it's safe. PGG's been missing off of the map for a minute and a half, and it's pretty obvious that something's up. Although that something isn't clear, better safe than sorry. In this case, it's going to benefit Aftershock.
Yeah, but I mean, as bad as this is at the moment, I don't know, PGG, I think he should give it up right now. He saw that the Zeus like ended up well so much mana and everything, so there must have been a bottle. So PGG finally 1 minute and 45 it took him to actually give up. Let's see if he's gonna go mid for a magic missile or if he's gonna go to that tri-line. I think the tri-line would have been better, but right now he's just gonna secure that 2 minute rune I guess that's okay as well. If it's a haste rune, okay, it's a bounty rune. I guess he can live with that. But if they open on the Skyrath Mage, if PGG came from the other side, I think that might have been our first blood.
Yeah, very... I don't know, a lot of wasted time for Moscow 5 International. They're farming decently in this lane, or at least getting some good experience. Right now, 3 and 2 on the Wind Ranger isn't stellar, but then again, Slarks isn't that great either. I don't know. It's... I don't know, just not a great situation for Moscow 5 International because PGG didn't get that bottle snipe. It could have been game-breaking, and it's a risk he took by going for such an aggressive roam, getting so little experience for such a long amount of time.
Yep, and at the moment, well, the Astro Spirit is gonna get some nice little stacks. We also have a nice little man fight here, Bignum versus Kefka. It's Anchor Smash versus the Thunderclap spam. What is the Brewmaster actually going for? Do we have something over top? Maybe gonna have the Magic Missile, but oh, nice disjoint here. That's a ton of mana out for PGG, and what a beautiful slow on all three. And now they're in an awkward position here. PGG really low. That Echo Storm, however, stunning two of them, but there's the snowball. PGG, I think that is our first blood. There it goes, the last right click, and I don't think they're gonna get revenge unless we have an awesome power shot coming out here, but even that is only on level 1, so tri-lane Aftershock was successful after all.
Yeah, and this is kind of the strength of the tri-lane. I thought it would open up differently, but those ice shards from Ngoma could not have been in a better situation. Even after eating through the trees, it just took them so long. The damage on Vengeful Spirit is pretty damning at this point in the game. Very low HP to start out with, even though she scales, well, at this point, less than 500 and only 3 armor.
And it's also the fact that he decided to go for, I don't know, the Magic Missile on the Slark. Slark having 2 abilities to actually get rid of it. Like, if he sees it flying, he can either trigger Dark Pact, or he just pounces away and disjoints it. So I'm not quite sure what was on his mind when he tried it, but I don't think it was a good idea. However, on the other side here, bottom lane, the solo safe lane, Bignum is actually quite struggling against Kefka, and Kefka with that Basilos, the right click, is quite insane. And of course his mana reaching, keeping up that Anchor Smash harass, it works out wonders for him. Bignum, he is soon forced to use his self there, and he doesn't have quite the region. Let's see, top. That was a pounce attempt, but nope, ZXC, it's not gonna work.
No. And really the only saving grace for Moscow 5 is that their Naga Siren's doing well in mid, but then again, the Zeus is no slouch either, able to consistently get some CS with Chain Lightning. Naga Siren's going to be a problem that eventually Aftershock are going to have to deal with, but that time isn't immediate, and as long as they get some rotations later on in the game, this status quo is favoring them. Magic Missile again disjointed by Jalopy. He's going to be just fine under his tower.
I don't know why they keep trying on the Slark. The Skyrath Mage is available to the right, and they most likely know about his position because he's the one responsible for stacking and whatnot. In the mid, you said the Naga is kind of doing fine, but I think we're gonna have a go here. Or do we? PGG being slow. There's the Magic Missile, but the pounce is landing in return, and Zeus is saying you can't run from heaven. Now, well, let's see if they can run at least from the Slark. The Ice Shard, beautiful, locking in the Elder Titan. What they need is another slow. It would be available, but they don't even need it. They just kill him right where he stands.
Yeah, this Ice Arch usage from Tusk, it works kind of like a worse Fissure, but in situations where you're cut off in such a choke point, that Ice Shards could not have been any better. And
yep.
Yeah.
The funny part is now we are heading towards a game that looks similar to like game number 1, where Aftershock was, I don't even remember, they were at some point like 25 kills behind or so, 20 kills behind mid-game. But yeah, the laning stage at the moment just go in Aftershock's favor. Let's just, I don't know, hope this is not a bad omen for Aftershock actually having the good start and Moscow 5 then coming for the comeback.
I don't think that this game is going to look exactly like last game just because of the great leap in power that these heroes are going to get, especially once Blink Daggers come out for, like, the Tidehunter. He's going to get Arcane Boots first to maintain the spam in lane, but that's going to be coming out probably 11 minutes or so for Kefka at the rate that he's farming, doing quite well for himself.
Oh, we have, I think, a go. Maybe bottom here. They want to go for the Titan, but if he wants to, he has the Ravage. But look at all the burst damage right now here. And he's trying to get some mana up. He still has the Ravage if he wants to. But no, Necromant, is he diving for it? No, there's the Song. But the Song helps him even. Now he's, I think, locked in. No, the creeps are not standing correctly. So in the end, he's going to get out here. This was really unfortunate. The Song with the Self paired up, that was more in favor for Aftershock than anything else.
Yeah, without the song, I don't think that they get that kill either way, but up in top, TP looking to use this Ravage. Ice Shards are going to block off PGG very nicely. Now PGG up the river without a paddle is going to be shocked down by Zeus. The Snowball with 3 heroes in, it's going to be running like a bullet train into screen. It's doing so much damage now with the Gigasushi shot, and as well as an Arcane Bolt to follow it up. 5-0 in favor of Aftershock.
Like, they are not just snowballing with Tusk, they're like the entire team, all the lanes at the moment, absolutely in favor for Aftershock here. They are actually starting a snowball that's getting bigger and bigger. The only one who's holding against this progress here is really Necroman in the mid. Maybe we're gonna see something right now. If they ensnare him, then a magic missile on mind control, it might happen here. Minus armor, double minus armor actually here. It's all about the right clicks, and yeah, they're gonna get it through. So that's definitely nice for Necroman. So some more items for him, but he has to be careful because that Scarab Mage is already coming, and 2 more Arcane Bolts, or 3 more, 4 more maybe, and that would have been a kill. But top, however, our Static C, he's gonna get the additional stun here, and I don't think that's enough. Oh, however, the stick, the Ice Shards, nope, it's not enough.
Very well played by Magoma. Consistently impressing me with his Ice Shards placement, just making sure that all of those blocks come through perfectly, and it's a pretty easy spell to mess up, so I don't know. Aftershock, I'd like to see them pick this Tusk a little bit more often. They're definitely showing that they can play it well.
Yep. I don't know, like at the moment we really have to wait what's happening for Moscow 5. I mean, you've been already talking about the Tidehunter, certain key items and certain other things that might come, but we also have the same on Moscow 5. We have a Bignum that is now level 6 and he's working on a Blink Dagger and he's not even that far away. Give him another 600 gold and that's pretty much it, all he needs. We have Necroman, well, he didn't go for a direct rush on say it on the relic, so I think now he's gonna start after he has the Aquila done. Let's see how fast he's gonna get that together. Yeah. But these heroes, these are, I don't know, they have certain impact from level 6 on. Moscow 5 has to make a dent on Aftershock's snowball at the moment here.
They really do. If Aftershock slow this down and stop going for these kills and stop finding these kills, they could be in for quite an interesting game, or at least one that Naga Siren's going to be able to come back from. You can't really ever count out the Naga Siren. This is pretty much just the standard build. Aquila bottle before going for the Radiance for some much needed stats, as well as mana sustain in the jungle. Necroman's doing just fine. It's not fine enough immediately, however. Naga Siren doesn't really come online, even with that Radiance, until she gets a couple of items on top of it. But she is going to be cleaning up quite a huge stack.
Yep, that stack is definitely good for his income. That should bring him at least to a third of his relic requirements. But when it comes to Naga, I have to say something, and this is about Dota scenes. While we see a smoke gank here through the Radiant Jungle, let's see what they find with it, but maybe I can finish my thought before they actually find someone. The European Tier 2, Tier 3 scene with Naga is not as convincing. Oh, they run directly into the Naga, but there's a song. The silence didn't come out. I don't know why he didn't use the seal, but he's still locked in. The illusions won't help him, but Bignum is coming in. There's gonna be the slow. Yes, and he's gonna go for that ultimate, but right now he's silenced, but they won't more Bignum. No, he's not gonna use it. He's gonna use, well, the snowball instead. The Zeus, well, he's hasted, but they don't get the stun up. PGG, he's down. Screen, they're gonna get the revenge on the Tusk. Now, we have still a Ravage up. When and where is that Ravage coming right now? Mind control is in pursuit. Bignum has to be careful, though. I mean, his ultimate is running out right now, and I think we're gonna have the Ravage just so mind control isn't dying. But we have the Naga coming from bottom, but Slug is also now in. Yep, the mix, and the Ravage is coming out. They get Bignum just like that, and now they have to dive tower. But Naga, Siren, well, she's still alive, and everything is running. Jalopy, however, he has the Shadow Dance if he really wants to go. Right now, locked in place, but no, Magic Missile will be disjointed. I think this is the 7th time already, and that's the end of the story. Or Scarab Mage is coming in, and now they find themselves in a beautiful shackle, actually. Kefka, he's low. He really gotta be careful. Finally, Necroman is gonna get that kill on Jalopy. He wants to secure that kill before he's diving the tower, but now he's also in an awkward position. No TP, no nothing. So all they have is now right clicks, and that's it. That's a dominating streak.
And to the worst hero possible to give it to, Necroman. Now sitting on 2,400 gold, 2-0 and 2 on this Naga Siren. That's scary, even though Aftershock in numbers wise, it's still a decent trade for them. Oh, we're going to have a Walrus Punch, and now they're going to block him off with the Ice Shards. Bignum, no ultimate for 60 seconds, but they can't pursue that any further. In that previous fight, Mind Control with the Haste Rune was able to put out a lot of damage, but that dive in the later portions of the fight was probably ill-advised coming out from Aftershock. But the aggression doesn't stop here. They're still going to be looking for some kills. Blink Dagger on Zeus now.
To be honest, if we take everything in consideration in that fight, even though it was number-wise a better fight for Aftershock by one hero, still, the fact that there was dominating streak given to Necro, etc., like just crucial things, that was a good strike for Moscow 5. It brought them closer to not completely losing control of this game, but right now we would need a swap on that Zeus. PGG is running, but that's just too fast. Brown boots versus arcane boots, just no chance. That's 345 versus a 350 movement speed, no chance to catch up. But maybe on Kefka. Nope. They're even gonna give up on this one.
Yeah. Tidehunter, halfway towards his Blink Dagger, he's slowed down quite a bit in the farming department after the laning stage, and still not having that tool available for him, but Ravage is going to be back up in 30 seconds. Speaking of Blinks, we're going to have one on Brewmaster, and now he has the split, so Moscow 5 International, they can look to make some trades, and even if they trade evenly, as long as Naga Siren is farming in the meantime, and speaking of Naga, bumps into Jalopy, that's the real Slark, can't go for that kill solo very easily, and Slark should be just fine. But Necroman's able to continuously farm, clearing up his small stack coming out from the...
You gotta be careful though. If he's getting silenced here, then I don't know what's really happening. The song is coming out, but he has no TP, so that means now in a bad position while the Zeus is gonna get that kill in the mid, but now Necroman, I don't know what he's doing here. There's Kefka, there's the slow, another slow coming out here, and they even commit the Ravage, and bye-bye Relic Gold. This is another 250 gold lost on the way to that really crucial item. I don't know why he was going that direction. I don't know why he was not running. I don't know why he didn't have a TP. I really have no idea what that was, but it was not good.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just a very questionable movement inside the Radiant jungle. Magoma going to be jumped by Bignum. Clap as well as a crit. He's able to get off the Frozen Sigil. Doesn't matter. Shackled to a tree. Is able to get off the Snowball, wasting a little bit of Moscow 5-Int's time. Will stun up ZXC, but they'll be able to clean him up either way. Windranger gets the last hit.
At least the Tusk is like, okay, if they're Naga suicides, then I might as well do the same, so they're not feeling so sad. But Necroman, I think he really gave like a lot of crucial farm uptime time towards his relic, etc. He could by now be on 3.5k or something, instead he's on 2.7, but oh, what's the Sky of Mage doing here? Bignum actually hit him already once, and that's it. With the Blink Dagger now, Bignum getting the second kill within this minute. And well, it's looking good. Now that his ultimate is still ready, they might as well just jump that Zeus in the mid. All they need is a stun, and there we have it. No! PGG! This time, he wanted to go with the Wave of Terror first, but yeah, it didn't really work.
Yeah. To be fair, the Magic Missile could have been disjointed by the Blink Dagger coming out from Zeus. Maybe going for a swap first would have allowed them to get close to that kill, but either way, Zeus is pretty slippery at this point, and now he has some backup of his own. They need to be careful even with this split. Naga Siren's going to go back towards Sir Jungle. Necroman's saving up quite a bit of gold towards that relic, but she could have it now. Mind Control pinged out in mid. It's just a standoff. Neither team really finds any openings, but with the smoke, now they might be able to kill off some really important targets. And by that, I mean Necroman.
Necro might run in, and there it is. Slow, silent, snowball, everything. Before he even knows what happened, he's just dead. And they might even find more here, as screen is there, but I don't think they have the slows required for this. Still, there's one more target, Bignum here. He has the ultimate, but he gotta use it. If he doesn't use it, he's dead. He's using it, but this is gonna be a defensive one. Maybe he's gonna be able to do some damage, but that's it. He's not gonna even make a dent, especially Kefka. Like, Kefka is so tanky already. Yeah, Earth Panda is already on the way to the tier 2 tower, so it's all about just doing something in the meantime.
Yeah. Frozen Sigil is just so annoying for the Brewmaster damage. Yep, with the Blink Dagger, Jalopy's able to kill off the bench. Deny comes out from the Windranger, but now ZXC's in a bit of a pickle potential as Jalopy gets the pounce. Locked into place, ZXC does have the win run, looking for a power shot. Lands into Jalopy, and now the tables have turned. Jalopy looking to run away. He should be able to make it out. The Shackle doesn't latch, but with the National Spirit, Jalopy survives.
Yeah, that's just... What kind of... Is that level 2, level 3? I think that's level 3, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's already level 4, Astral Spirit. I thought it might have been enough, but it's like too tanky already. In the end, way better trade for Aftershock again. Bignum, now that he doesn't have an ultimate, I don't think he's able to like really do anything.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for them. Even though Aftershock do commit several heroes towards that bottom engagement, if you could even call it that. It is split being used with no impact, and that's going to be unfortunate for Brewmaster. He's going to be working towards something with an Ogre Club, whether that's BKB, which would be a wonderful choice against Aftershock's lineup, or an Aghanim Scepter. It's going to be pretty nice for the Brewmaster, and Necroman does have almost enough gold for that relic, although it's been heavily delayed.
Yeah, and I think delayed is also going to be PGG's progress, because he's found by a pounce, and even that Magic Missile is just going to be there for some damage. That's it. Necroman, however, he's going to take the second attempt on finishing that relic right now. I'm not even sure if he's successful with it, because right now he has to even be careful that there's no side rotation coming in. But for now, aShock, they're just happy with the fact that they're gonna get a tier 2 tower. The double damage on the Tusk is definitely helping with it.
Yeah, and they should be able to take this with this creep wave very easily. With no contention coming up from Moscow 5 International, this is a very crucial time for Naga Siren, and they will be able to get that relic, but it's cost them dearly. And I'm not sure if it's fast enough for Necroman. We still can't count them out, but Moscow 5 International definitely on the back foot.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if this is working out. I mean, if he would have not died twice in a very, very stupid position, then Naga had a chance to actually come back on this. But right now, we are still working towards... Oh my god, he finds PGG again. He just came back from the fountain. Zeus saying, kill secured.
Definitely. Blink pounce to the low ground. Usually you don't expect that to happen as a Vengeful Spirit behind your tier 2 towers at 17 minutes in the game, but Slark knows no bounce and he'll be able to cleanly escape as well.
Yeah, this Slark at the moment, he knows no fear because there's nothing that can actually kill him right now. That's the biggest problem. Like, as long as he has Shadow Dance, there's no damage source whatsoever on Moscow 5 that can really stop him. They need the Naga to actually interrupt that Shadow Song with a song. Like Shadow Dance with a song. Song and dancing, I was confused. It's all about music. Either way, like, they need the song to, like, pop it directly. But I don't know, Big Gnome popping his ultimate again defensively, that's not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and Big Gnome's kind of disappointed. He had a decent early start, but hasn't been able to do much with the splits except for one, which is kind of nice, but at this point in the game, usually Brewmaster is running the pace of it, and that's just not the case. aShock, too much of a raw advantage on their heroes.
Yeah, and I mean, this was the hope. This was at least my hope for Moscow 5 to actually make a stand in this game, buying Necroman the time he needs. I mean, he is on the way of the Radiance at the moment, but we have Slark, and there's the song. Well, the song being used for this one. Maybe they can actually hold him under the tower with Big Gnome here, slow him. Nope, they're gonna go back because there is the Ravage. However, we have, well, Megoma coming in the background. That's Slark, so aggressive at the moment. No fear of towers.
Yeah, not at all. He's able to get away with it. And Jalopy, as soon as that Drunken Haze wears off and he has the Blink Dagger again, he can do the same thing. Mind Control working towards an Aghanim Scepter. They're going to push into a tier 2 down in bottom and Blink behind the tower onto PGG. Zeus ultimate, packed pounce. It's going to be enough damage or very close to it. Swap onto the Wind Ranger, almost saving her life. Not going to happen as the Chain Lightning doesn't get it. And now ZXC is going to be dropped by Jalopy and his Dark Pact. aShock, it looked like they might have been able, Moscow 5 might have been able to avoid the kills, but it's just not in the cards for them. Tier 2 tower down bottom is falling. When you're working towards a Radiance on your Naga Siren, you losing a tier 1 tower here or there is usually acceptable, but not when it's this delayed, and not when your other heroes can't fight. This Wind Ranger pick is very disappointing.
Yeah, it's like, and even, I mean, we are talking about the Radiance, like it's some sort of holy grail, but I mean, you need something around that Radiance, that's the biggest problem. But right now, well, the Tidehunter is gonna get caught out by those illusions, and what is the Naga Siren doing? She's not going back, she wants that tower. Well, the first pounce was dodged, but now he's slow. Dark Pact, it's a ton of damage, he has no song. He has to accept the fact that he has the Radiance, but he has to die for it. That's another 300 gold towards the Slark, which is gonna help him to go into... Whoa. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but do I actually see Gloves of Haste and a Mithril Hammer there? Is that a Maelstrom Slark?
Yeah, I think so. And I'm completely fine with this. I thought it was a BKB.
Nah. Yeah, I don't like it. No, I don't like it. Where's the usual Skadi action? It's just too good of an item on Slark. Why would you go for Maelstrom here?
Okay, fair enough. In comparison to Skadi, it's not as great, but I think this flags the aggression that they want to put out immediately. Zeus, Magic Missile, Thunder Tower swap. Mind Control gets up his ultimate, but will die for it. Kills off ZXC in the meantime, however. But yeah, mentioning on the Maelstrom Slark, it's going to come online a lot faster, so I think this is an okay item choice if he's able to play as aggressively as he has been. Usually I don't like it, but this game, I think it's okay.
I guess when you have disadvantage, you can play around with it. On Necromant, he was just back from all of this, but he has to use another song. Now that the Slark is under the tower, maybe they go for a try here. Big Gnome, he has the slow, but there's the Shadow Dance, and that's exactly what I meant. On Big Gnome, actually a beautiful blink, just holding him back there, that the pounce is not used for just making way, but, well, in the end, they're not going to be able to kill that Slark.
Yeah, and he can jump back into this. He's back up at full HP, still has some decent mana. Doesn't have any allies close, however, which is the biggest issue for him, and he's currently being surrounded. Yeah, Blink Clap. The Shackle not going to latch, and is in fact, I'm not even sure what that interaction was. Okay, Jalopy is going to be able to blink away fine.
I don't know. Like, I never thought his blink dagger is that fast online again, but nothing actually interrupted him. Even that shackle, since it didn't latch or anything, he was able to blink out. Without that blink, it might have been a kill, and a very needed kill on that Slark. To stop this Slark at the moment should be main objective right after the Zeus. But let's see. I mean, so far, there's still one fact standing. Necroman is farming. Radiance is done. We have 1,000 gold. He's gonna go for the typical BOT, Radiance, BOT, Yasha, Manta, hard build, I guess. But let's see. Aftershock, they're not gonna wait till Necroman is online here. They just gonna press forward. Tier 2 tower is the next objective to go for.
Yeah, no reason to stop. If they do, that's their best chance of throwing away the advantage that they have. And we just saw Jalopy like diving tier 2 towers into 3 enemy heroes and still coming out. Imagine if he had some backup behind him. They really can't be stopped. Tier 2 tower down in bottom is going to be taken, and I don't think there's anything really stopping them from rotating to another lane and doing the same thing. Wind Ranger is going to go for a Blade Mail, and I really don't like it. Ravage onto nothing, Kefka! Oh my goodness, now Clap split upon, TP attempt going to be denied by a shackle, and now Kefka is going to lose his life. What was that Ravage?
He got exactly what he deserved, but maybe this is not over here. With the Panda actually finding the Tusk. The Tusk still has the Snowball, but if the team catches up now, they need PGG for swap Magic Missile, and oh, the range, it's not quite enough, but still interrupted. There's the swap, and well, Snowball is gonna buy some time, but Mr. Tusk, he's going down for sure. There's the stun on Bignum, he's going down. There is still Zeus, invisible, but yeah, he has to get the hell out of here. In the end, well, as I said, he got what he deserved, because that Ravage, it was so uncertain to actually catch something, maybe on the edge, but even then the follow-up would have been missing. I don't know where this was coming from, but it was a stupid idea, and they pay instantly for it. 2 down, and that's a little shiny hope on the horizon for Moscow 5.
Yeah, it really is. I assume that was a shift queue mess up where he was hoping that there was some heroes behind there and then just didn't cancel the animation. I have no idea. We'll put that one behind us as we go back into this game. Aftershock still at an advantage, but this is really scary. That's one of their big teamfight ultimates that should ensure you a teamfight win doing literally nothing. Slark is still looking for some pickoffs, and he's working towards the Mjolnir, but Aftershock, the snowball is slowing down.
And I mean, right now, it's not like Moscow 5 is working on specific items, on whatever else here. All they do is like hold on till Necroman got to a certain stage where a Naga gets sort of unstoppable or takes so much commitment to kill her alone that you will die from all the other damage from the rest of the M5 players. That's what they're going for at the moment, and right now it looks good because Naga, well, he has the level and he has the HP for actually sending out illusions that hold on to whatever they do in a lane against creeps, for example, which means he's gonna get like a lot higher GPM right now. He's even gonna, surf in the dire jungle right now, and he can instantly come back with BOTs, unless of course he's getting caught out. Level 16 is gonna be a small boost for him again, since he can spam that song every 60 seconds. But I completely missed that Tusk, and I'm so sorry about this.
Yeah,
I hope
did
you had
too.
it on camera.
Nope. Didn't actually happen. So Tusk is going to lose his life. Looks like he was just a little too aggressively in the enemy side of the map. PGG smoked up with the rest of his allies. I don't think that smoke is going to net them anything, but maybe, just maybe, if Zero G sticks around too long, they could dive that tower, but I think it's unlikely. In the meantime, Slark, dealing with some Nagastar and illusions, will be able to clean them out, but at the cost of a decent amount of his HP as well.
Well, let's see. I mean, Slark is not there. He's relatively low. Does he have a TP? He has a TP, so if they join a fight in mid... Oh, PGG? What is PGG doing there?
He swaps behind the enemy tier 1 tower and dies. That was it.
I don't know. That is no vodka without Dotka, or the other way around. That was a big question mark for me.
Yeah, maybe both of these teams are having too much vodka with their Dotka. Let's see.
Yeah. Don't combine vodka and Dotka. It's gonna make Luzka to you.
Yeah, right now still neither team is really coming ahead, and that's going to favor Moscow 5 International. They want to maintain the status quo and just keep their Nagastar farming, but Aftershock looking for a smoke. This could be huge if they're able to combo everything correctly. Necroman, silence, it's going to be there before the song comes out. Now with the Walrus Punch, he's down before he can do anything. Mystic Flare onto nothing but his dead corpse.
Yeah, it's like, just make sure, is he dead, is he dead? Let's just kick him again. Like, he was already dead, doesn't matter, just kick everything in. Sue's coming with Lightning Bolt, Mystic Flare, everything. It doesn't matter, he's dead. probably twice the HP value that was needed for this kill. Either way, this is gonna secure Roshan easily, unless Bignum feels fancy to jump in there. But the problem is there is Skywrath Mage, and I don't know if they really want to.
Jump in, Bignum's looking for the split. He's able to get it off successfully, but Snowball coming out from the Tusk is going to delay a little bit of this time. With, excuse me, blinking over Jalopy, PGG taking a lot of damage from the Thunderbolt as well. Ravage, this one's going to connect onto 2 heroes as well as a handful of Brewlings. Earth Splitter is going to be at a pretty nice choke point, but ZXC chased down by Arcane Bolts. He'll be able to bring down a 3rd hero. Brewmaster, the only survivor for now. Bignum blinks up towards the high ground, but it looks like AfterShock will be able to secure what they came for, and that's the Roshan.
Yeah. I mean, 3-for-1 trade. The entire plan was to go in there, but the Tusk buying all the time, Bignum just setting his mind on that 1 kill. Sure, you can do that, but in the meantime, PGG had another epic swap, swapping him directly next to a Skywrath Mage and a Zeus, and they were like, okay, sure, PGG, if you want to, you asked for it. Then we had the seal on him, and the first lightning bolt brought him so low, and I don't know, like the Ravage and everything that wasn't even needed, it just ensured another 2 kills.
Yeah. This is going to be a double life for Jalopy. Even if Moscow 5-Int were close to the pit, there's not really hope of them contesting, and, well, there you have it. It's going to be a big objective for AfterShock, and they're starting to get the snowball rolling again, but now they're dealing with a Naga Siren that does have Boots of Travel, Yasha, and working towards that Mantis style. Once Mantis style comes online for Necroman, the farm is never going to stop, and he'll be able to constantly put pressure onto the lanes. It's still going to be a constant thorn AfterShock's side. Let's see if they're going to be able to bring out this game. It's been a lot more interesting than I thought it would after the start that AfterShock had.
It's quite impressive that Necroman is still holding on to this game. I mean, he's dying like so often at the moment and so fast without even getting the song off with facing all these stuns. I mean, it's not over, this game. So far, we are still looking at tier 2 towers, but of course, the advantage for AfterShock is growing and growing. We look at 7.5 in gold, about 12k in experience at the moment. Well, Slark is fishing for something. Maybe he's fishing for Necroman. Let's see. But I don't know. They have the Aegis now, and I think they should use it. At least getting the objectives done, because we must not forget, the longer this game goes, the worse it gets for AfterShock. Because right now they only have a Slark, which is, of course, like also having certain limits at some point. And the Naga Siren, well, she has a ton of items still to go for. She's getting stronger by the second.
Yeah, Jalopy's able to put a comparable amount of pressure onto lanes as the Naga Siren right now. With the Mjolnir that he has gone for, is able to burst them down very quickly. But that's not going to hold true for the rest of this game. Once a Manta Heart comes out from Necroman, that item is going to start falling off, at least against the Naga Siren illusions. Up in top, Kefka going to be jumped upon by the Brewmaster. He commit the split for this one. Kefka, I think he's just going to fall. Shackle doesn't latch, doesn't matter. They'll be able to bring him down as Windranger snipes him with the power shot.
That was also like one of those questionable ones, but I mean, in the end, he didn't really see them and he didn't expect them there. They were hiding in the trees, and like obviously it's always safe there. In the meantime, Jalopy is gonna use that time making a dent on that tier 3 tower, so it seems like bottom is the goal to go for Jalopy. He's gonna wait till the maximum of that TP. It wasn't even a third of the tower, but I mean, what's done is done, and you should not settle for less. Either way, still, it's a nice kill. Obviously, more gold for the Naga. We are looking at the Yasha being finished right now. And now the Naga is going to get to a point where she's getting really tanky.
Yeah. Jalopy now with the Basher, however, Slark is doing a lot of damage. And that's going to maintain the case. AfterShock still need to keep up this aggression, and it's scary. This next 10 minutes, I think, is going to pretty much decide the game, depending on who wins the fights, or if the fights are won at all. Magoma invised up in mid lane, but without any backup, isn't going to be able to do much, except get burned down by a handful of Naga illusions.
Yep, let's see. But I don't know, ZXC, the problem is, I mean, sure, they have Necroman on the Naga, but ZXC's farm, he's gonna go for a BKB, is about 800 gold away from it. I don't think the BKB is gonna change much in those fights, except for he's buying some more seconds uptime. Then again, his right clicks and everything, they're not really, I don't know, the best ones. PGG, well, he's going from mid back after he was dewarded. Oh, unfortunately. Oh, never mind. We have actually top go, but Bignum being silenced and stunned. Walrus Punch in his face. He didn't get anything off. Ultimate still 20 seconds on cooldown by the time he died.
Yeah, nothing he could do there. I don't think they knew Jalopy had a Basher, but they'll surely know that he has it now. Currently, Aftershock looking towards mid lane. They might be able to find another jump, and PGG might be at the receiving end of a Slark surprise. Let's see if Jalape's able to connect with it. They don't have any vision over here, so PGG is going to be just fine. However, Aftershock are now poised to start pushing down a lane. They have their Tidehunter Ravage online, and all of their cooldowns are available. Everybody with decent amounts of health and HP, no reason to stop. Aegis on Slark is just icing on the cake.
Yeah, but this Aegis is not gonna last forever. Right now, they're gonna put some pressure. Oh, actually, they're gonna put a lot of pressure here on ZXC. Kill almost secured by the Zeus. In the end, Slark is gonna get credit for it, but that was easy and a fast kill here. And maybe this is now a step forward in objectives for Aftershock, but it seems like they want to go back. I meant with Jalape, no, he just wants to get rid of that Aegis, and he certainly does get rid of it.
Yeah, it forces a swap, and he'll be able to clean up a Nagastar and Illusion on top of it, but Jalape needs to be a little bit more cautious now that he doesn't have the second life. He'll get on the backlines of this fight and heal up some of his HP, and they're primed and ready to go again. Although Nagastar is able to counter push this very effectively with his Illusions every once in a while. Boots of Travel, my goodness, in from the Zeus are going to succeed as Naga doesn't have a Riptide. Walrus Punch, I didn't see where that went. I believe that was over on the sidelines of this fight. Necroman's Song trying to focus down Zeroji. It seems there is an Earth Splitter coming through. It's going to land onto only Jalape, but the damage doesn't go through. There's Ravage on the backlines, just onto a handful of Nagastar and Illusions. Kefka again going to whiff that one. Scarth Mage is surviving on the sidelines. Is Zeroji looking for the TP out? Will he succeed? He will! Oh, that power shot. My goodness.
Flying his way. Everything flying his way just when he makes it out. In the end, they're just gonna get the Tusk, but also due to the fact that Kefka's Ravage was subpar, let's call it like this, not to mention that it was also completely useless because it really just hit Illusions. I don't know where this was coming from, what he planned. Maybe his Blink Dagger was interrupted, he wanted to blink in and got, I don't know, interrupted the last second by, I don't know, the Naga Radiance. I'm not sure, but Jalape, you gotta be careful here. Well, he's slowed. Pound's going the wrong way, and he's shackled there as well. He's going down. This is a wicked sick, just like that. Bignum, without using his ultimate ZXC, just a normal power shot is gonna finish off that, and it's a tasty 670 gold for that Windrunner. She's gonna finish, yeah, the BKB with that.
And even the AoE gold of almost 300 for everybody involved, that's huge. And Naga Siren, for the first time in a while, has overtaken the Slark in net worth. Necroman now well on his way towards Heart, gonna ship that stick for a Reaver. And now Necroman is getting incredibly scary. I think Aftershock are now the ones that really need to step up their game.
Oh, but I want to get Necro here. They're wrapping around the secret shop, suspecting him there. Problem is, if they go further, it's daytime. I think the creeps even saw them. Or actually, Necroman, I don't think he noticed, but his illusions are already on the way. Right now, it's the hardest thing is to find out which one is the real one. Tier 1 tower bottom falls in the meantime. Still, Necroman, oh, they're gonna use the ultimate just to get him, but the Manta before the seal, which is really bad. Necroman, he's going down. I don't know, you have to save that seal for after. I don't know. Like this is a big misplay by Necroman. It's the second time against the Scarab Mage where he just makes a stupid play. I mean, if you don't use it while you have the seal on, why do you buy that Manta anyway?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. Manta Cell is still a really nice item for Nagasarn. The stats as well as the extra illusions definitely don't go amiss, but he could have just saved it. I mean, save the Manta, use the song, but at the moment PGG first hit Bash and the Pounce hitting as well. Easy one here for Jalape. Well, in the meantime, well, they're gonna go on the bottom lane as well. Bignum, he's gonna get out with the ultimate, but at least he got the Zeus before. That's like some consolidation price at the moment. Well, Meguma, I don't think he's gonna die unless there's some follow-up at ZXC. He doesn't even dare to come in, and for a good reason, because there we have Jalape and they're coming from the side. Bignum, no, you have to go back, my friend, but he is not even thinking about it right now. Oh, well, there's the Plink, but what we need is... Nah, first hit Bash, that would have been it. But no, he's out. Yeah, wouldn't even been able to get off that attack even if it was a first hit Bash, and my goodness. It's just going to be a little bit of a trade down in bottom lane. Even though Nagasarn dies, she's still bought the Reaver before she fell, so didn't lose that much gold. The biggest issue for her was the farming time that she lost when she died up top. Aftershock now with Ravage online, Zeus coming back up in 16 seconds with Boots of Travel online and ready to go. Aftershock, they're going to try to push, or at the very least find a pick off Smoked Up with 4 of their heroes, and they're going to look for the Nagasarn. Illusions are going to be throughout this jungle, and they'll know that those are fake. In fact, it timed out anyway. Jalape leading the charge. It looks like PGG is going to take the game.
PGG. Please, please, stop them feet. Oh, actually, they're not gonna find PGG, they're gonna find the Elder Titan, and instead he's just exploding. There's still a BKB on ZXC, but he doesn't even dare to use it. I don't know why, I think that would have been, yeah, enough. But PGG, he's on a warding mission, but instead, he's just gonna die as well. That's 3 supports down, just like that. And yes, I call the Windrunner at the moment support because, well, that's all he does. Like, he's there for some shackle shots, a nice power shot here and there. But that's pretty much about it. Top, however, we have some nice push coming, but as the Naga illusions run out, Bignum is just gonna apply some pressure, but I think they're gonna trade it for a tier 2. Still, this is not how it should end. Like, the Elder Titan should not drop that fast. The Windrunner should use that BKB in my opinion, but let's see. It's not really happening at the moment.
Yeah, it really isn't. Back on the Wind Ranger, this is pretty much the most do-nothing build I've ever seen. With the BKB Blade Mail, what does it really accomplish? Not much at all.
Yep.
Later, whoa. That was probably the complete heart for Necroman on the Courier, but in the meantime, Song onto 2, setting up for the split, going to be able to get it off in his Roji as well as Kefka. They do quite a bit of damage. Ravage comes out mostly on a BKB target, but screen in the backlines. After being hit by the Ravage, is going to be focused by Jalopy. It is going to be a 1-for-2 trade right now, as they might be able to pursue for more. Jalopy with the pounce and blink. Yeah, he's fine.
Look at that damn Tusk ability. That Frozen Sigil, it's such a pain in the butt. Like, seriously. Like, it was like, yeah, come on, let's chase Jalopy, and then, yeah, the Sigil came along, and just look at their movement speed when it's around. I mean, it's reducing so much. You're down to 250 movement speed. That's like Crystal Maiden before Brown Boots. It's, like, not funny at all.
Really isn't. Yeah, I believe that was the completed heart on the Courier, and it was with some Stout Shield wards and smoke. That's a really big pick off for Aftershock, and I think that's going to mean that losing Tidehunter and Scarth Mage for the Elder Titan plus the Courier is more or less an even trade. Zeus Ultimate being spent, looking towards mid. Jalopy has another Blink cooling down and a Pounce, but he probably shouldn't go for that, and instead will decide to back off.
Well, he still had Shadow Dance. I think he could have gotten the PGG kill and then getting even safely out, but he didn't want to risk it, which is, I guess, the good decision, because right now they know they slowed down the Naga, because they saw the revert, they saw there was something in the Courier, maybe someone even clicked on it, so they know exactly they slowed the heart, but at the moment, Necroman versus Jalopy, first hit, bash, pounce as well. There's the song, and please tell me you're running away. Yes, this time he's running away. He doesn't risk any further conflict there, and he shouldn't. At least till he gets his heart.
Even then, I don't think you man-fight the Slark. The Essence Shift, if nothing else, is gonna tip the scales into his favor eventually, and then, like, you add bashes on top of that. Until Necroman gets, like, a Butterfly or Diffusal Blade, I don't think man-fighting the Slark is ever really
I think
a good
Diffusal
idea.
Blade would actually be something very decent here. I mean, sure, the Slark is still... No, actually, the Slark, no, he doesn't have a stick anymore. He started with it, if I'm not mistaken, but now that the Slark has no stick, for example, it might actually be worth consideration. Either way, poor Roshan under the Sigil from the Tusk. He's barely doing a single hit, and if he's trying to, he's gonna get stunned. This is a fast Roshan, and it's not gonna be contested this time. However, it's a second Roshan, so there's no cheese involved. It's just the normal ages, and it's not the end of the world for Moscow 5. Because they can hold it off with the current Naga situation. In 30 seconds, their illusion's gonna have heart as well, which is really good.
Yeah, and Jalopy now with the Scotty is effectively capped out for this point in the game. After going for drums, Blink, he's going to have to ship the drums away for that Scotty, but Jalopy's completely online, the scariest hero on this map, pretty much bar none. Even though Nagasarn has more net worth, her items aren't as scary. They don't kill heroes as quickly as Slark does. He's going to be able to assassinate anybody he sets his mind to.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, so far this game, or like game number 1 was a game of mistakes. It was always the question, who does the worst mistake here? And, well... in this case, Moscow 5 was it, but right now we also see, I think the approach of Aftershock is not aggressive enough. I really have the feeling we are getting to a point where Moscow 5 is gaining more over time than Aftershock, because now the Naga is actually in a position where pushing against her is really freaking hard. I mean, last time they tried to push, they didn't even get the tower, even though Moscow 5 is always paying for certain engagements a lot higher price. But still, we're looking at 40 minutes. Necroman being more and more aggressive, and Aftershock, they still have a base to break. And it's not that easy, especially if you get to a range where Moscow 5 starts saving up buybacks and everything.
Yeah, it's really not, and that's really unfortunate for Aftershock.
Grandis. Don't leave me alone.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to unmute my mic on Skype. Apologies. We are going to see Jalopy going aggressively into the enemy side of the jungle as I am joined by HeflaTV again. The tier 2 tower in mid is going to be taken by Jalopy, effectively just backdoored. No fights are going to come out there. And refresher on Zeus, the items are here for Aftershock, and they need to kick up the aggression because there's your heart for Naga Siren. I said that the 10 minutes ago would have given us the outcome of this game, but not so. We're still in a situation where either team could take it, but it's looking better for M5.Int. Ooh.
Jalopy. I don't know if he saw the Naga. The Naga definitely saw Jalopy because she was on the high ground, but they're not going for it. I mean, he got the fresh Aegis, so I don't think that would be even worth the engagement. Right now, the best thing for Moscow 5 is just wait out that Aegis, and we have to see if Aftershock wants to, I don't know, do something. But you see how tanky the Naga illusions are at the moment. Jalopy is trying to kill it, but he's like, well, not really successful with it.
Yeah, and that's their highest damage hero. They, I don't know, don't have a great way to deal with those illusions. With the heroes that they have, this is decent counter push, but not really great enough when you're dealing with those illusions. Let's see. Jalopy is also going to have to constantly have that drunken haze onto him, which is going to be a thorn in his side. Monkey King bar for the Slark seems to be mandatory this game.
Yeah, at some point it definitely will, but I mean, Jalopy finally now with that Scotty, once that Aegis is down, or actually even with the Aegis, he can still upgrade one item, the Skullbasher to Abyssal Plate. That's definitely a good thing if you find someone for it, like the Naga, the real Naga, amongst all the illusions, locking her down, telling your team to throw everything in that direction. They might actually get the tier 2 tower. Moscow 5 is not quite in a position to defend, even though everybody has a TP, everybody would be ready to defend it, but yeah, Kefka there with a Ravage, I don't think that's really worth it. Maybe trading tier 2 for a tier 2 might be the right thing. Check in with the Zeus ultimate where everybody is, so they know exactly all of them are sitting in the base.
Yeah, Jalopy behind the tier 2 tower, as comfortable as he could be. Tier 2 tower is going to fall bottom, and top is going to be a similar story for Bignum as he's been quietly smacking away at it. For now, it's going to be an even trade. Neither team really finds an opening or wants to take an engagement.
Okay, Bignum, I don't know why, but he didn't take that last hit. He just gave up on it and blinked out. The creeps took it, say thank you, but still, it's a lot less gold. Let's see. Right now we have Invisibility Rune on the Zeus, and yeah, nobody's entering that. Moscow 5 is well aware of the fact that they don't want to take a fight outside the base. They need the help of the tier 3 tower there as well. And, well, Necroman just sending illusions like a madman everywhere. And the diffuser plate, as we predicted, is up. He's not going to upgrade it right away. He's just going to keep that money for a buyback, which is the smart thing to do. Because right now they can stop the push. And if he actually dies in the fight, he's coming back and makes a second set of pretty nasty harass.
Definitely, and that's starting to get more than just harass. Slark was man fighting up against illusions, and ended up taking the worst half of that exchange. If you get like more than 3 illusions in there with the, or more than 2 illusions in there with the Naga Siren herself, Slark can't win that right now. He just doesn't have the AoE damage unless he finds the real Naga Siren in Abyssal Sir. Even then, he might lose his life without backup.
Yep, absolutely. And I was just chatting because people were laughing that you left me alone with your microphone muted. But let's see, Necroman, Naga Siren, just leaving some illusions here. And that's pretty much it. But even the Zeus can't really stop the Naga illusions anymore. Like, they're gonna push even towards the base. He can send 1 illusions in the mid, which he's gonna do. But oh, they're gonna find Bignum. The question is there enough? Or does he get the ultimate? No, Abyssal Blade is gonna even put an end to this thought. So yeah, that's 80 seconds, Bignum not being there, and maybe this is the opening for Aftershock we were looking for. Right now, they should push. Like, I have to emphasize it once more, they have to push. Otherwise, this is not going to make a good turn for them.
Yeah, it really isn't. They have to commit Ravage for that kill, and there is no refresher on Tidehunter. It isn't in the works yet for Kefka. But they still get it cleanly. Now Jalopy up top. He finds the real Necroman. He's going to pounce. The bash before the song's able to come out. Manta, now there's a song from Necroman. He should be able to run out here cleanly. Or will he? Let's see if they have enough pursuing power. Necroman's just too damn fast, and he'll be out there.
Yeah, he's just too fast. He's gonna heal up really, really fast. Look, the heart is kicking in with 60 HPS. That's like no way. And this is all the time they need. I mean, right now, Bignum, he's back in 30 seconds. By the time they reach the high ground, like, everything is just fine. Jalopy still on the hunt. He could kill PGG with the Abyssal Plate, but, well, he doesn't even dare to go that deep into it. Still, Aftershock, like, at the end of the day, the fact is they're not even getting close right now to that base. They need a better trade, a better gank, a huge mistake by Moscow 5, but it doesn't look like Moscow 5 is giving it to them. Even with Bignum suiciding, Aftershock didn't even get near that base, and this worries me. This is very worrisome for Aftershock.
Yeah, it definitely is. Moscow 5, they're getting really close to getting Nagasarn 6-slotted, working towards that butterfly. Then she has an upgrade for defusal, and then we might see 7-slotted shenanigans with an extra courier and what have you, but for all intents and purposes, Nagasarn is going to become unmanageable, currently turning off the radiance off as she roams around the map, bumps into mind control in fact, and Necroman can kill off mind control. He's netted down to the ground, gets the Zeus ultimate. This is the real Nagasarn, drains a little bit of the mana, but mind control is gone. Necroman finds a freebie.
Yep, freebie kill. It was just a bigger creep holding a lot of gold. That's 380 gold for him. Nice experience pushing him up like almost level 22. And it's also the time that, for example, other heroes can actually go in a quite nice transition. For those guys who watched, like, for example, I don't know, Cloud9 games in Dream League the last days, like we saw Panda actually going for some nice right click. And we see a similar build at the moment from Brewmaster. He's pretty tanky. He has a BKB, Floods for the region, Arcanum Scepter for his ultimate. He has space for one more, either to upgrade his boots, but I guess that's BUT eventually, and he has, of course, a TP scroll slot still to fill with a nice right-click item. So we're gonna have, in the end, a Windrunner soon going for a Hex. I assume that is a Hex. I see the ultimate orb already, and we have also Bignum going for some right-clicks. All that paired up with Vengeful Aura and, of course, the Elder Titan presence. It's gonna get scary, because what does Aftershock do? Relying singly on a Slark? If the Slark is getting hexed before or after the Dark Pact or Shadow Dance, like, the Naga will just kick his butt. Big time.
More or less. Jalopy now with the double damage rune is really scary and they can't really fight into him, but I don't know, Moscow 5-Int, for the first time in a long time, they're going to be able to go aggressively themselves. They pick off the Zeus, and that's quite a lot of the damage coming up from Aftershock off of the table, especially since that's the Refresher ultimate that he wasn't able to pop, or didn't want to pop, rather. So with Moscow 5 International, they could find a very favorable engagement for themselves. This next Roshan, I think it's crucial. If Aftershock don't win the game, if they do get the Aegis, or even win a team fight around the pit, they're probably not going to win ever. Nagasarn is just going to consistently push out those lanes and really just be unsolved as the problem is concerned. PGG asking why we're paused, and that's a good question. We have no idea.
Yep, and for now, PGG has pretty much... he needed to go to the toilet, huh? Okay, that's interesting. So we have a little bio break, P break, P pause.
Fair enough.
Fair enough, you say? No, but seriously, where is this heading? I mean, right now, the longer this game is going, I mean, yes, I'm repeating myself there for like half an hour, but it actually came to this point. And I thought Aftershock is going to be more aggressive, going to finish this game. But it comes down to what we saw on game 1, even though you said it's not going to end like this, but it looks really like it. Aftershock leading for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and they wait till the other team has the time to recover from all that horrible laning stage.
Yeah, and if you look at the advantage that they have, it hasn't changed for the last 30, 35 minutes even. It just hasn't gotten any better for them. At, like, I don't know, 20 minutes in the game is looking wonderful for Aftershock, and then they just lose a fight or two. Nagasarn is able to hold on, and experience, although vastly in their favor, is starting to become less and less relevant. If we take a look at the hero levels, the only heroes that don't have level 16 are the Elder Titan, who honestly doesn't need it. If he maxes out the aura and is able to throw out some spirits, that's enough. Vengeful Spirit, level 16 is kind of nice, but that also doesn't really matter in Tusk. So it's pretty much just a stalled out game that Moscow 5-Int, I'd say, are winning. Even though they're not putting any pressure on the enemy base, it doesn't matter because of the inability of Aftershock to do the same.
Yep. To be honest, you're right. Like, when it comes to levels, there's not much to gain at the moment for M5. Like, the upgrades they're gonna get on level 16 are not that great, but sure, it's some additional stats. Obviously, the ultimates on level 2, if that Earth Splitter hit. By the way, this game, we didn't have crazy Earth Splitter action. Also, the Echo Storm's mostly off target. Also, due to the fact that, like, if they actually did something, like ganks or 5-on-5 fights, the DET was one of the first guys to die. But now that we have, like, so many BKBs, I mean, we are looking at the BKB on so many heroes, like, yeah, we're looking towards anything but Jalopy. They found him, and here the song, just to hold him in place. He's still reaching up, but it's too late. He's going down. There's the Ravage. Huge amount of damage here, but so much shared now. They're going both down. Yulscepter just buying some time. Or actually, was it the Yulscepter? I think that was the Panda. In the end, they're gonna lose so much for this. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's insane. 5-man Ravage into lost teamfight. That's not supposed to happen, and it happened.
And look at Roche timing. The Roche timing might be perfect. Like, they're actually going out of the Roche pit. I don't know if they have a timer on their screen, but if that Roche is spawning instantly or just with like 30 seconds delay, that would have been perfect, getting Roshan. But for now, they settle with the tier 2 tower. And look at the Roche respawn timer, another 2.5 minutes on top of the normal 8 minutes. Well, this was the right decision. Going for tier 2, maybe forcing out some buybacks. You have to see, are there even buybacks? Yes, there are. Quite some, even. But I don't think they want to get rid of them already.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh my goodness, Necroman. Under the tier 4 towers just casually. That was very interesting. Forces out the buyback from the Slark. The tier 3 towers being focused with the Butterfly on the Nagasar. Necroman's pretty much capped. Gets the song before the punch of Magoma. And Nagasar is going to be able to book it. On the sidelines, Elder Titan also stomps out some of the other heroes. And Magoma can do nothing but punch a creep in frustration.
Yep, and in the end, well, the Illusions even make it quite a dent on that tier 3 tower. I think they did the right thing. We have the buyback coming out, on Jalopy, meaning if they're gonna get a pick-off like this, similar to this one, it's a huge problem for Aftershock, because then I think they can't stop it anymore. Then they have no chance. So if Jalopy dies again, that's bad news. 6 minutes of no buyback.
Yeah, and that's very crucial for Aftershock. The double damage rune wears off onto the Slark pop as he respawned here, but I don't know, there's just not a clear path to victory for Aftershock, and it looks like it's all looking up for Moscow 5 International. Wind Ranger, although up until this point, hasn't had much of an impact. If you land a Scythe onto that Slark before he's able to Dark Pact or get off his ultimate, that could just be the end of Slark's life and the game.
Yeah, and I think they want to do it. They know they have a slight advantage now. If Jalopy dies in one of those fights, it is pretty much game. But for now, maybe Necroman is the one to die here. That's the real Naga, but okay. Who's actually going to win that fight with Manta? Well, it's going to be a huge damage. He has to get the song off, and there's the song. He's TPing out, and that's the end of the story here. A lot of time and energy invested on this one. Still, the Skyrath Mage in an awkward position. There's the slow on Mr. Bignum, but he's disjoining it. So this fight didn't end up in anything. Even PGG, well, very ballsy as usual, but the Titan that was not able to catch him. So that was the face-off we were looking for. In the end, no casualties at all, and we are pretty much to status quo. Roshan, however, is definitely, I don't know, on the side of Aftershock if they want to go for. Even though Moscow 5 is not far away to defend it if they want to. So I don't think anyone is going to risk this.
Yeah. I'm pretty surprised that Moscow 5 didn't get a pipe beforehand, and now they jump for Bignum. They drop the Ravage as well as the silence from Zeroji. Brewmaster didn't stand a chance at all. They're just able to chain stem him perfectly. BKB was available for Brewmaster, but he wasn't able to pop it.
So, let's see. Let's see. I mean, Bignum down doesn't mean anything right now, because Aftershock, they might get a Roshan on it, but what does that Roshan do? It is the second life for Jalopy. That's kind of the replacement for the buyback. Then again, I don't see a reason why he would not die a second time. If everything's falling apart around him in a team fight and he's like the last man standing, then this might even be bad news. But we have already, even without Bignum, the Elder Titan just saying hello. Earthsplitter even sent into the Roche pit. It's not gonna find anyone there. But Jalopy, I think they go back even, I don't know, they just have to fight against the Naga Illusions. But see the problem? Jalopy, he needs like 7 hits just to get that one down. That was even with the help of the Scarab Mage. They're gonna slow it at best, or maybe Naga Siren with the song. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Slark still being harassed in that Roche pit.
Yeah. He is going to be stomped up by the Elder Titan. Now focuses back into the Roche. He's going to be able to get this Aegis pretty easily, as long as nothing more than the Elder Titan comes into the pit. But Moscow 5 are getting into position, and Jalopy's going to have to give up his attempt at going for the Roche. We're going to have a little bit of a standoff coming out from both sides, and that's going to favor Moscow 5 since they're able to farm more of the jungle with the Nagastar Illusions and even put some pressure on bottom. Oh, jump in. They're going to pop the BKB on the Elder Titan. Not going to save you from Jalopy with that double damage rune. My goodness, the damage coming out from the Slark is insane. Able to bash down Elder Titan. It's just going to be a clean pick-off.
Yep, and I didn't even see that. I just had to write something in chat. It was too tempting, but oh, Necroman. There was the initiation by Jalopy. They're gonna get that Zeus ultimate through, but that's about it. I think they want to reinitiate. Oh no, Necroman is calling the retreat. I'm not really sure what they are calling, but Bignum is coming in with the BKB on. He wanted to make sure to get that ultimate off, but he doesn't even hit anything now. Megoma is the one, but he's hiding in his little snowball. So if not anyone, then he's the one going down. Well, we still have no Ravage on Kefka. Now he has been cheap, but oh, he's even using the refresher just for the sake of that one Ravage. I don't think that was a good decision in the end. Still, Moscow 5, all of them are alive. And PGG, nice swap here, back to the low ground. And Jalopy is going down, this time without Aegis. Never mind, he's still alive somehow on 80 HP. Necroman, he has to be careful. He's the one now under the pressure. But still, no casualties, but ZXC. Nice little Earth Splitter, but ET, you find himself against the Zeus. That's not a good idea, you have to run. That is very unfortunate for Moscow 5. With Jalopy being dead here, that might have been it. But Megoma showing here versus, well, versus Bignum. But in the end, both of them blink like world champions.
It's a 1-for-1 after all of those ultimates spent from either side. I was expecting quite a lot more action. But yeah, Slark surviving because of Shadow Damage regen up against that Urn Charge, able to avoid detection as well. Now to the Roche Pit they're going to go and trying to focus down for the second time. And getting that Aegis as well as Cheese. Jalopy is doing it, and now Moscow 5, they have a handful of Naga illusions to be annoying inside the pit, and they are going to be, so it takes quite a while, and Roshan's honestly the biggest amount of damage that they do with the clap, and Jalopy might have to consider getting out of this pit, as that's the real Naga Siren. Bash before she can get off anything, and now silenced up. Necroman is going to defuse off that silence, now slowing down Zeroji on the high ground, looking for a TP attempt, cancelled by the song coming out from Necroman. Zeroji's going to be giving up his life for the successful retreat of the Slark. Fuel Scepter on the Skyrath Mage is going to delay the damage, and now netted down to the ground. Zeroji to fall, but Jalopy wants back in. He's going to be able to purge off the magic missile, but it took quite a while. Jalopy leaped up to the high ground. He's going to survive for now, but pursued by Bignum, swapped by PGG. The vision is there, and now Jalopy is inside the river. He's able to get off one more pact, and he blocks off Necroman with the help of the Tusk. Now leap up to the high ground again. Jalopy survives.
Yeah, and this, I don't know if this really opens Roshan for them. I mean, Roshan is on 50% HP, but Aftershock there, everything but out. Like, we have to see if they jump in here. Necroman is pretty low on mana. That's the biggest problem at the moment for him, so less spam coming out on him. But Roshan seems to be done by Moscow 5, but who's gonna get that Aegis at the moment? Windranger is the one who's picking it up, but look, they're jumping in here, and now they are cancelled, and Mind Control is the first one to fall. Jalopy is the second. That's 110 seconds. Kefka's coming in, but no Ravage thanks to that refresher before, and this is bad news because now they can finish them off even with the BKB on Megoma. I don't think he's gonna survive ZXC. Right clicks and Kefka being followed up. If they have anything on him, a stun that might have been or is a 5-man wipe, he's gonna use even a Ravage. I think this is just for escape purposes, but let's see. The song is gonna interrupt it. Kefka, he could still try. Yeah, he's preventing that team wipe.
Only just. He has to use Ravage for it. I'm not even sure if that's worth it. Moscow 5 the double Z-Soul spit inside the pit, as well as the spells coming out with that passive do a whole truckload of damage. But nobody is able to clean up. The Slark dies too quickly, and everybody else just doesn't do the damage. So Moscow 5 coming away cleanly, and Naga Siren now sitting on a boatload of gold is going to casually buy up a refresher.
Absolutely, and now buybacks being forced. It just came online again, but still, I think the damage is done here. And even with Kefka coming in, it's another Ravage. PGG is the first one to fall, but Necroman at the moment he's fighting against the cliff, and I don't think he's gonna be successful. So objectives are still standing. They're gonna lose 2, and they have to retreat. But Kefka says like, no, we want more. And ZXC first hit bash. That's the end of him. And let's see. Oh, screen. He could still get bashed if the Slark would have pursued, but no, he's out. They have buybacks if they want to, but I don't think Aftershock is going to be able to push that fast anyway towards M5.
Yeah, and even though it's a one fight for Aftershock after the snapback and the push coming out for Moscow 5, this game is still looking pretty grim for them because they're not able to get any immediate structural damage, and the damage that they put onto the melee barracks in bottom is going to be healed up. So since they decided instead of going for the range barracks to go for that more important structure and not take it, Moscow 5 are going to be pretty sad about that, but they can hold indefinitely. And Brewmaster's next item choice looks like it's going to be an AC for him, which is going to make pushing that much easier, as well as stopping a lot of the damage from the Slark. Still a standoff. This game could, in theory, go either way, but Moscow 5 seem to have a commanding lead, even though the graphs aren't going to favor that. Just the way that their heroes scale seem to be a lot better.
Well, let's see. At the moment, Jalopy is doing a split push here, bottom, trying to get something on the tier 3 tower down. Kefka is pretty much doing the same in the mid. Well, we have no Ravage and no Refresher at the moment. That's what they have to work with. But let's see, Bignum coming in. The ultimate, oh my god, the ultimate is going to be interrupted just by the fact, but a beautiful swap here by PGG. Finally, he's coming in, but Megoma, oh my god, PGG is going to go down. In the end, we still have the Brewmaster ultimate, so Kefka might be falling victim to this beautiful Earth Splitter. But in the end, they want Jalopy, but nice disjoint. They have to settle with less, which is Kefka at the moment. At least they're gonna get him. That's pretty much granted. Maybe the Skyrath Mage if they can follow up, but they have to be really, really fast for it. He's gonna TP out, but the song is actually there, interrupting the entire thing. So in the end, it's PGG for 2, but look at it. Jalopy in the mid, he's gonna keep on pushing, as well as top. We had Mind Control on the Su as well. Su is not the best pushing wonder, but at least they get something done on the objectives. But the damage on the base, well, it's fairly limited. That's mid, what, a third, and bottom about 50% of the tower. That's about it. Like 2 heroes, 2 for 1 trade for this. That was overall not really worth it. They expected more.
Definitely not, and now the snapback coming up for Moscow 5 is going to be all the greaters. That Skyrath and Tidehunter down, although they don't know it, for good for the next 50 seconds. And maybe this is enough to allow them to get that high ground push. When Tidehunter comes back, he will have double Ravage, however, so that is always something to consider.
And Necroman is already on the way. He's hunting for more. He could get Megoma. Well, he's trying to, definitely. He has a snowball just to buy some time, but oh, look at it! BKB trying to TP out, but Naga doesn't care. I mean, she's hitting for 300, well, 310 even, and yeah, that is just too much for that poor Tusk.
We'll have to see. Necroman now swinging towards mid to get the tier 3 tower, and now into the structures he's going to focus. Melee barracks is what they want. With Focus Fire and Necroman's illusions, they'll be able to get it. The first lane of barracks goes away, Moscow 5-Int. Tusk holding onto his buyback, and Aftershock, they're the ones that need to fight into this. The second lane of barracks under heavy pressure, the range barracks to fall, and
we have a double Ravage coming now, so they want to fight here. There's still 1 Rex left, but the double Ravage, this one has to come. There's number 1, but into 3 BKBs. There's the second one, into 2 BKBs left. So far, no one is dead, but look at this Earth Splitter, again, not hitting anything on 0-0, is somehow still alive. Where's Jalopy in all this? But he's stunned now. Bignum actually bringing him in trouble, but jeez, I don't know where this one is heading. Necroman is coming in now. Kefka, he's in trouble. If there's any damage, then it should come right now. Jalopy, well, holding Necroman in place. He doesn't even get his ultimate off. That's 120 seconds down. And of course, that was on a bot back. Naga, really bad idea. PGG's the next one to fall here. They try to get something again done. And in the end, well, Moscow 5, they lose a lot here. The Windrunner is the last one to fall, while the ET is running away and Bignum TP'd out. That was mid-Rex and arranged bottom Rex for, well, 3-1 trade. Aftershock, they have to push now. They can't lose more objectives.
We'll have to see. Moscow 5 International, they just lost their Naga Siren, and for good. A minute and a half on the sidelines, this Naga is going to be able to do nothing, and they could have cleanly backed out after getting that first set of barracks, and probably even after getting the ranged barracks in bottom. They got a little
This is a
greedy.
hard defense now. Look at this. I mean, this is a defense without Necroman for another minute and 10 seconds. So Jalopy, they have to jump in, but at the moment the creeps are not playing with them. They're still back to protection. He's gonna buy the Monkey King bar now, so more damage and no fear of evasion. But let's see. I mean, right now he's gonna settle with everything. The Dark Pack beautifully timed, but now he's gonna get stunned after. All they have to do is buy time. 55 more seconds, but the BOTs are already coming in. That's at least 1 set of Rex down, and we still, no, we don't have a Ravage or anything, but it won't be enough to defend. Cliff is buying some time, but that's all about it.
Yeah, let's see if they're going to be able to do it. Melee barracks is almost soon to, or sure to fall. This is going to tie up our barracks, or at least get close to it. They probably won't be able to get any more than this, but Aftershock, they're holding on after what looked like...
There's still 30 seconds. I mean, there's still 30 seconds to go, and as these 30 seconds align also perfectly. Oh, what a swap here. Fuel Scepter buying some time. They want to get it, but Kefka is going in. Some nice damage here on PGG, but Bignum, they want to get Jalopy, and if Jalopy dies, but he doesn't die, Shadow Dance is coming out here, and he wants to get screen. At the moment, he's slowed. Nice disjoint. The beautiful timing. Jalopy is still somehow alive. I don't know how he managed, but at the moment, M5 losing 2 and Bignum, he has to retreat. There's another stun. Just buying some time. He will survive in the end, But yeah, they are not gonna lose the mid-racks. This comes down to the most important part. But Necroman is coming in directly in the freshly acquired or newly acquired Ravage. Now he has a huge problem. He's silenced and he's down again. I think they just threw the game right here. Bignum also down. Jalopy eating through it all. The buyback's coming out. Only Bignum. But they just threw the game. TPing directly into everything. Everything ready on aShock's side. This just broke their neck. There's no
really
comeback on this one.
There was a little bit of miscommunication coming out from Aftershock. They used up the Naga Siren immediately she TP'd in, avoiding that Ravage. Didn't matter, was just in such a compromising position, and Jalopy multiple times inside this fight was able to avoid death, as well as get onto the backlines, heal up with his ultimate. That's exactly what Slarks want to do. BKB popped by Bignum, but he can't defend this alone. He doesn't even have his ultimate.
PGG is back in free, 20 seconds on the Windrunner. They can try against Mega Creeps, but Moscow 5, like, this is such a throw. I can't even believe this. Like, Necroman, he threw away so much, and there we have it. Mega Creeps are done. Bignum wants to join in, but Abyssal played up on him, and that's pretty much it. Another Ravage there. They finish off PGG, and with them down, like the Windrunner against Mega Creeps and everything, I think Moscow 5, we're done for this game. Unless there's a miracle and they somehow get the Naga online pushing that last set of Rex, we have Mega Creeps versus Mega Creeps. But this is really high hopes for such a game. As Jalopy is still around in the base, just like a vulture hovering around it. And BOTs, the Zeus is coming back in here, Mr. Mind Control. They want to finish it. They want to finish it right now. First waves of Mega Creeps already on the way. Nice models, by the way, on them. But yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it. My goodness, such a greedy mistake coming out from Moscow 5-Int. I'm not sure what exactly Naga Siren was thinking. Maybe if she prepped the song before TPing in, she could have survived and made that work. But in the end, it's just going to be her giving up her life. And Aftershock, they don't really need to end this game, even though Naga Siren can keep Mega Creeps at bay for a long time. It's going to absorb all of her illusions, and Aftershock have already shown that they can win fights. And even if Moscow 5-Int do win a fight, the equilibrium of the creeps is going to be at about that line for the rest of this game.
Yep. I don't know what I like. To be honest, I'm out of comments for this game. I mean, they can definitely stop a lot of things here, like Naga Illusions buy some time, but the Mega Creeps, they will push in. They don't have enough counter potential, I think. And well, there's a nice swap here. They're gonna get Jalopy. If Jalopy actually dies, this might be interesting. There's the Godlike streak going down. Naga Siren is gonna get credit for it. We have to see. I mean, maybe this game is not over. Maybe I'm actually too pessimistic. We have to see. But they still have to break one lane, get to that Rex, or maybe even the throne directly. It's a lot of effort. I don't think they can do it.
Yeah, they don't want to tap out here. This would be the end of their line inside the winner's bracket, bump down to the lower bracket, which is not where any team wants to be. But they'd still be around inside the tournament even if they lose this game. But Moscow 5-Int, they'll cling to whatever hope that they have, or whatever hope that they can have. Right now, Slark down, even if they were able to push into his base, has buyback, and I'm not sure they'd be able to force it out. Right now, that Naga Siren getting the Beyond Godlike spree is quite honestly the worst hero to get that, because she can't buy anything else. She has a refresher inside the base and another 4,700 gold on top.
Yep, she just bought a refresher, which she keeps at the moment in the base, refreshing everything, illusions and whatnot. But that's like the only gimmick. They're gonna go for Roshan. I don't know. Like, Roshan, I think at this point it does not matter at all. It helps you only defending your base. But to be honest, right now, they should just settle with the fact that the Slark is down, force that buyback, and then try to go for a fight inside their base, whatever is left of their base. But they settle for Roshan, but this is not even going to the Naga. Like, this is who picking up what? Static C is gonna get this one, and we have a cheese on PGG or screen, either way. But you see, top is already pushing in, and it's gonna get pushed out very well. They have to break the last space now. At least the last Rex bottom might be the goal, or going directly for the throne. Otherwise, I just don't see a fair end for this.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Moscow 5-Int are going to be able to bring this back. They're also going to be fighting up into 2 lives on this Slark, and he's been able to keep his distance inside the fights, and they're already forced back to defend their base. Those mega range creeps do quite a number onto the structures, and this is pretty much going to be the story. Even if they get close enough to those barracks, they can't really take them. The tier 4 towers, lucky enough for them, are still standing, and they're incredibly healthy since they still have some huts remaining. But Aftershock, this feels like it's in the bag, although if they throw it, that could be completely demoralizing for game number 3.
I mean, if they actually throw it, right now, this one is actually hard to throw. I mean, Moscow 5 just proved that you can throw a game even though you have such a Naga by just one decision, just TPing directly in the front lines. Again, Abyssal Blade, Ravage, stuns on top of it, and the silence of the Scarab Mage. I don't know what Necromant was thinking there, but this one decision put them in this role. If Aftershock managed to make a mistake huge enough, maybe Moscow 5 has a chance. But right now it's really just fortifying in your base, trying to do something. But Aftershock, they're going to go in when everything is ready, and we have a double Ravage right now. We have everything they need.
Yeah, double Zeus ulti. The Lincoln Sphere on the Zeus more often than not has been placed on Jalopy as well. Aftershock, it doesn't really get much better than this. I don't really think there's a better time for them to push, but then again, Moscow 5 aren't getting anything else, so it's pretty much just the status quo, and that's favoring them. They don't find initiation yet, but they don't have to. We might be in for a couple more minutes inside this game, but once the fight happens, unless Moscow 5 absolutely crush it, it looks like Aftershock have it. Let's see if they are going to be able to win a fight. I think that's going to have to involve some really crazy shackle shots coming up from the Wind Ranger. Even though the performance up until now from ZXE has been pretty lackluster, a double hero shackle shot could completely turn things if it's not purged off by the Slark.
Yep, we have to see. I mean, at the moment, Aftershock, they just want to make sure. They know there is a lot of potential in that Naga. They know even against Mega Creeps, like there's a lot of counter push potential right now. I mean, she's managing to push out at least 2 lanes with the help of PGG, providing here Wave of Terror, for example. But it's not enough for a full-out push. That's the problem. Then again, Moscow 5, how much more could they improve? Right now, we have, well, some more items that could come on the Pro Master. It seems like he wants to head for an AC or something like this. Well, the Elder Titan has some more space to improve, but I don't think he has the income for it, especially now against Mega Creeps. We have Naga Siren being 7 slotted pretty much, if you count that refresher in the stash there. So right now they're pretty much at the end of the rate of, I don't know how you call it. They're just at high end, and we have to just wait for the next fight.
We're getting refreshers in the base. She also has, or Necroman also has a BKB inside the courier. If the micro is there in order to get off the Magic Immunity inside the fights, maybe, just maybe, Moscow 5 can win it.
Using BKB, swapping it in and out and fight. Oh, well.
Yeah,
to be honest, I would be happy if he has less micro but better decisions, because like this game is definitely on him, and I think his teammates will agree there. Like his ferocious TP into the enemy lines made this game even be in such a desperate position right now. But I mean, they're holding on, so they definitely see chances. We have also a position again where buybacks are available. Like for the Naga, for example, we have a buyback. Bignum has to work on it for 1,400, but he wants to work towards that AC, which means he's gonna spend gold. Then everyone else on the other side, well, they have the buybacks. So at the moment, aShock, when it comes to pure buyback status, definitely having the advantage as well.
I don't know. This game is pretty much on a razor's edge. It could end at any moment as soon as a fight breaks out, but neither team really want to or have the potential to force the issue. It's just an awkward standoff. We are going to see occasionally smokes coming out from both sides, but eventually those aren't going to be available on cooldown on the Dire side for 9 minutes almost. I hope they don't have to wait for that smoke, and the Radiance out of smokes for 9 as well, so that item is completely off of the table from either side. Unless we have some in the inventories, and, oh, look at there, we don't. Except for Zeroji, he's holding out the last smoke of this game.
Yeah, and the Aegis is also not gonna be forever on ZXC. Then ZXC is not the best Aegis target anyway, but no one else has like space for it. You just assume that they somehow survive or have the buyback. Well, I don't know where this one is heading. At the moment, the fact is if aShock is not doing anything actively, they can defend it. But now there comes the smoke. Maybe this is the last fight. PGG again too far out here. There's the jump by Jalopy directly on him, but the song interrupting anything, and I think they want to reinitiate here. They want to go on Jalopy, but at the moment, no, he has everything. There's Ravage number 1. Ravage number 2 will come, but at the moment, so many BKBs. Necroman is the first one to fall. Instant buyback. This is pretty much the last fight. ZXC is gonna go down as well, just as the Aegis expires. Perfect timer there, and Bignum is gonna die in his ultimate. No buyback on him, so it's now Necroman and ZXC who have to defend this. No buyback on any of the others. That's bad news. There's the GG call, and finally we have it. There's a little pause, but yeah, That's it.
That is the weirdest timing for a pause immediately as the Ancient explodes, but that's going to be the end of the series. A pretty good series, even though it was a 2-0 win for Aftershock. Moscow 5 definitely showing their colors, and I hope that they're going to be able to come back, and this time, without so many questionable decisions, into the lower bracket. They still have a chance to get back into this tournament, and we'll have to see if they're going to be able to get there. I've been GrandesV, he's been HeflaMoke, and we're here on HeflaTV HB1 on our Hitbox channels here, bringing you the Battle of Central Europe Season 3. If you want to support the tournament, you can buy the ticket as well as a pretty fancy Meepo set if you are that way inclined. And if you want to follow us further and you like the casting here, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and on Twitch at HeflaTV. And the VODs we upload to youtube.com/HeflaMoke. This isn't the end of Dota for the day here on Hitbox 1. We're going to have another series between Denial and the former Moscow 5 squad coming up shortly, so see you soon.
15 minutes. See ya.